Yeah, is your old mate, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and more talk about will he stay or will he go?
You're a sports editor. This is the dream double whammy for Sunday sports editors, because you can set up the big game of the day with such a big news story, the ongoing news story of the three to sign at Liverpool. Trent Alexander, obviously, probably the most likely to go. I can't see him moving in the window, though.
But there's meat on the bones of this, because there's a £78 million offer on the table for a 5-year contract, which is over £300,000 a week. Sounds good, but you still get the feeling he's very tempted by Real Madrid.
But, I mean, it's interesting. Yeah, so John Richardson's story on the back of the Sunday Express, Kop's £78 million bid to keep Trent, as you say, 5-year contract. And also, on the back of the Sunday Mirror, the sort of Arne Slot sort of personalised it a bit. He says, this is Simon Mullock's piece, Arne Slot has urged Trent Alexander-Arnold to emulate Steven Gerrard by turning his back on Real Madrid to become a true Liverpool legend. I mean, I can remember it was 11 years ago that we were in the Bernabeu and Steven Gerrard was sitting on the bench, Liverpool bench, fuming because he wasn't playing against Real Madrid. I think Raheem Sterling was. And, all the stories were Steven Gerrard you want to play on this sort of stage, whether he was being linked with them or not was sort of by the by. It is Real Madrid. It is the Bernabeu. It's not as if Trent Alexander-Arnold is being linked with, a sort of a lesser Spanish club. Real Madrid are the biggest club in the world. It's an amazing stage. He's a fabulous footballer. You can see him going there, fitting in with Dani Carvajal, obviously injured at the moment. Well, he'll be 33 in the summer. There's a place for him. It's a great stage. His big England bestie, Jude Bellingham, is there. So, he would have to be tempted. But I think Trent Alexander-Arnold has handled it quite well, because he hasn't sort of come and talked. He hasn't said anything. And I'll tell you what, his form, he's been absolutely flying. Everyone's making the sort of comparison with the way Steve McManaman left and Michael Owen left. I can remember when McManaman left in, 99, some of his performances towards the end of the season definitely dipped. Whereas Trent Alexander-Arnold, I mean, he's up for Premier League Player of the Month.
You're always very conflicted on things like this, though, aren't you? Because on the one hand, you're I really hope Trent stays because, Liverpool are in a great place. It's good for them, be good for his career. Then the other side of the argument is we want our top players to go out and experience other cultures and the big leagues. And if he's at Real Madrid, that can surely only benefit England as well.
If you're looking at it from an England perspective, he will be going abroad and playing less. So he won't have that sort of game after game after game that you get in the winter months over in England. So there's that benefit there. But I still think that if he leaves on good terms, and he clearly wants to, if he does leave, and the way he's handling it, I think is really good. I don't know whether he wants to leave or not, but Real Madrid has to be tempting. And people talk about legacy. If you've played for Liverpool and Manchester United, and you've won a European Cup, Champions League at both, that is quite a legacy to be looking at. So I don't think, will Liverpool fans begrudge him leaving? I mean, all fans will. But he is a professional footballer. He's not a football fan. And it's just a different mentality. If he went, would you begrudge him that?
Who, Trent?
Yeah.
No, of course not.
No, there you go.
But I'm not a Liverpool fan.
No,
so
but then you have to look at it from maybe his perspective.
I think it must be really tempting. It must be really exciting.
Yeah,
and it's not
fantastic situation to be in.
For Liverpool, but
and you can guarantee that there will be a draw that he gets sent back to Anfield within about a month. Month of joining.
Meanwhile, over at Man United, the players are afraid, anxious. Doesn't Amarin, I hesitate to say a bit too much for his own good sometimes?
But sorry, he's being honest, isn't he?
He is. I like it. Don't get me wrong, but is it doing him any favours himself? I mean, this is the bit like the old weight of the shirt argument with England, where everyone, we don't, it's too much pressure, we can't perform. And all
but whether he's doing this intentionally or not, he is actually highlighting he's got a problematic squad. We know the players that they want to shift out, Rashford, Anthony, players like that. But the we're afraid. But he then said, we need leaders. You go through that likely team today. Who are the leaders in there? Maguire, probably, because Maguire does actually
he needs to lead a little bit better, didn't he, during the week?
Yeah, well, then...
they took the captaincy off him.
Yeah, make him captain. I think he's a more natural captain than Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes is obviously a better player, I understand that. But Maguire genuinely cares. Casemiro Casemiro, I mean, he's ageing. I mean, we forget that Matthijs de Ligt was Ajax captain at 18, playing in the Champions League. I know, but
he's not as good now as he was then.
Totally agree. So who is there? So absolutely, it's the responsibility takers. And then you flip that back to Liverpool. You look at the amount of international captains they got in there. Virgil van Dijk, Mo Salah, Andy Robertson, Endo, Szoboszlai. That's 5. Okay, Endo doesn't start. But 4 of their starting 11 are international captains, responsibility leader takers. So there's an obvious contrast.
Can you see it? I mean, we used to see it with England. You could tell England players just wanted to get rid of the ball and give it to somebody else because they didn't want the responsibility of being booed if they lost the ball. Can you see that with Man United players? Is it that bad?
But the strange thing is, that period of covering England, that England national team was packed with club captains. You looked at Gerrard, you looked at Terry, and then they didn't achieve as much. We've probably got fewer club captains actually playing now, and they're actually doing better. So, but problems at Manchester United.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.